I want to begin with a truth I didn't learn in a book. I learned it in a waiting room, in a suit that didn't fit, with my hands shaking. I was 24, waiting for a job interview. My resume was polished, my smile rehearsed, but inside, I was unraveling. There was a voice in my head whispering, "You don't belong here. You're not enough." And if that voice has ever whispered to you, if you've ever felt like you're one paper short, one connection short, one miracle short, then let me tell you what I see when I look at you. I see your growth. I see your grit, your questions, the kind that don't just seek answers, but challenge assumptions and the strength it takes to keep showing up, even when no one else realizes the weight you're carrying. That voice telling you you're not enough, that's not your intuition. That's old fear, carried forward from places you've already outgrown. It's insecurity, wearing your voice like a mask. Fear, pretending to be wisdom. Doubt, pretending to be realism. But it's not you. Not anymore. Because your true voice, the one underneath all that noise, doesn't tear you down. It calls you forward. It has been one of the greatest privileges of my year to walk beside you. Not just through assignments and lectures, but through everything life has asked of you along the way. Before we part ways, I don't want to leave you with just grades or feedback. I want to leave you with something far more lasting, a message about who you already are and who you're becoming. There's a version of you who already has the career, who walks into rooms with quiet confidence, who doesn't shrink, doesn't apologize, and doesn't pretend to be anyone else. They're not waiting for permission. They're not somewhere far off. They're already inside of you, waiting to be lived out loud. Let's be honest. This moment in your life is both thrilling and terrifying because you're staring at a threshold, the edge of everything you've worked for and everything you're about to become. Degrees earned, projects you poured yourself into, deadlines that stole your sleep, long nights you didn't think you'd make it through, but did. And now the question that's been quietly building becomes impossible for you to ignore. What happens next? Because for many of you, this isn't just about getting hired. It's about building something deeper, a life that honors your effort, your values, and the weight of all the people who believed in you before you believed in yourself. The world you're walking into won't just test your skill. It will test your patience. It will challenge your confidence. And sometimes it will ask you to stay quiet in rooms where you were born to speak. You're not just applying for jobs. You're stepping into spaces that weren't always built for your story. And yes, those spaces don't always make room for your voice. But that's exactly why it needs to hear you. Not the version of you that fits in, but the version that was never meant to hide. You're carrying more than just a resume. You're carrying pressure, expectations, 1,000 invisible weights that don't show up on paper. Some of you are carrying visa stress. Some of you are carrying debt. Some of you are carrying silence. Some of you are carrying the unspoken weight of being the one who made it and wondering if you'll be the one who makes it last. You're carrying the voice of a father who gave up everything for your future and never once asked for credit. The hopes of a mother who never had the chance. And the quiet prayers of a grandmother who doesn't know how the internet works, but knows that you are her legacy. And when it all feels like too much, that doesn't mean you're failing. It means you're in the fire. And the fire is not the end, it's the forge. Steel is not born strong, it's forged under heat, under pressure, under blows. That's how strength is made, and that is what you're doing now. You're forging your voice, your resilience, your identity, your grit. Not the kind that shouts the loudest, but the kind that never backs down. So stand up straight, shoulders back, head held high. And when the storm comes, or the silence, or the moment that dares you to disappear, stare it down and show this world what you've already shown me, that you were born for this, that you don't know how to quit, that giving up is not in your vocabulary because you are a sun devil and you are, without question, a badass. There is a version of you that lives in your imagination. You all know the one I mean. The version who walks into rooms with quiet confidence, who speaks with clarity, who's respected, trusted, chosen. The version of you who feels ready, even when you don't. But here is what most people never say out loud. That version of you isn't waiting at the finish line. They're not ahead of you. They're within you. They live in your habits, in the way you talk to yourself when the room goes quiet, in the tiny, defiant choices you make when no one else is watching. If you want to meet the person you're meant to be, don't wait for them to arrive. Start living like they're already here. Wake up like them, walk like them, speak like them, lead like them. Not because you're pretending, but because they're not a fantasy. They're a memory in reverse. A future self already whispering back to you from the life you haven't lived yet. This isn't the end. This is the part of the story where the page turns and you realize the pen has been in your hand the whole time. You don't have to be fearless. You just have to move forward, even when your hands are shaking. Because no one becomes remarkable by waiting for the perfect moment. You become by beginning. So start small, but start deliberately. Stand tall, because posture isn't just physical, it's psychological. Walk into interviews not as an applicant, but as a peer. Speak your ideas like they belong in the room, because they do. You don't need to feel ready to be brave. You just need to take the next step. Don't shrink to fit into spaces you've already outgrown. Don't pause your momentum for fear of imperfection. And whatever you do, don't stand on the edge of your own life waiting for someone else to wave you in. Step forward, take up space. The future is already making room for you. You were never meant to blend in. You were never meant to erase your story just to make someone else comfortable. You are not broken. You are rare. And rare things aren't always understood, but they're always valuable. This world has enough copies. What it needs is you, exactly as you are. Loud, soft, messy, magical. So own it. Own your voice. Own your truth. Own your weird. Because the moment you stop apologizing for who you are is the moment you become unstoppable. You don't need more permission. You don't need more approval. You just need to believe that there is a place in this world already waiting for the full version of you. And while I can't tell you what the future holds, I can promise you this. The weather will change. It will rain. Sometimes gently, sometimes all at once. But if you hold fast to your truth, if you stay rooted in who you are, you won't just survive the storm, you'll rise through it. Because what fire couldn't burn away only made you brighter. Because the sun always returns, and when it does, it shines brightest on those who never stopped believing in their own light. So go forward, not to become someone else, but to become more of who you already are. You are not the future of leadership. You are leadership, becoming visible. So rise. And when you do, don't just take your place in the world, transform it. The only question left is, will you rise like you already know how? It has been my distinct honor to be your professor. I am so excited for your future and genuinely proud of the courage, brilliance, and resilience you've all shown. I can't wait to see the LinkedIn updates, the milestones, the first day on the job photos, and the quiet victories you'll someday realize were turning points. But above all, please know this: I will always be cheering you on. Wherever life takes you, whatever you build, become, or overcome, I will be watching your journey with pride and cheering for you every step of the way.